Yeah, we probably need another week. We want it to probably be. Do we want to start again or?
No, it's fine.
No, you're wrong. We just started anyway. We kind of wanted where everyone's timeline's at. Probably need a little bit longer. In Rain's case, probably need a little bit longer. It's indefinite in regards to what his timeline looks like at the moment. But for everybody else, you've got some high-minute guys that are able to rest their bodies and come back a little bit fresher, and that's going to be important for us, especially with these games coming up in the coming weeks.
So Rain won't be playing?
Yeah, Rain won't be playing this week. Timeline at this stage is undetermined, so he's not responding the way we had hoped, and so there's no point trying to force him through, potentially making the injury worse. So we'll get more feedback from where he's at, but for the foreseeable future, he's out.
And then updates on Sam?
Yeah, progressing along nicely. We really want to see what the next 48 hours looks like. We'll probably keep him at a game time decision for now, but look, he's progressing along exactly as he should, and even his injection into practice is showing what he's capable and how it really changes the shape of us having him, especially being that explosive five-man for us. So, we'll see how he goes, especially in the next 48 hours before we make a final call on him.
And then Cody's back?
Cody's back, so Cody's back, and Kyle Adam will be back, and everybody else good to go.
Adam, what was the message heading into the FIBA break? What was your main key message to the guys?
Yeah, really just to rest and repair the bodies. Again, leading into the FIBA break, Jack, for example, was averaging 37, 38 minutes a game. We had some guys carrying some nagging complaints. With the limited rotation and the shorter rotation, there was a lot of guys that needed this rest. And so, the first week especially we had some light shooting, we had some return to play guys, but for a lot of others, we sort of just sent them home just to recharge the batteries, because when we come out of the FIBA break, knowing the schedule that we had, especially leading into New Year's, we wanted to make a real good run at this. And so, the timing of the rest, especially for Jack, was crucial. Yeah, and that's the thing is, there's probably been some of the better practices we had. Just one thing I give the guys credit for: they've always come to work and they always work hard, and it's not a mindset of survival or trying to just tick a box. They're here to get better. This has probably been one of the more energized weeks just with the rest. So we've been able to try a few different things, especially in the playbook, and shift a few guys in some different positions. But yeah, they look great.
So looking at the Hawks up next, got a side of them here and then out down there. What do you kind of make of them at this stage?
Yeah, as we're talking about being rested, so are they. They're on a little bit of a momentum swing in the positive at the moment. So, they're always tough to play their home court, and JaVale McGee is always a handful. We expect much of the same, which is a very balanced and productive offense.
Obviously, Mojave was playing for New Zealand over that break, so does that kind of change the way he will come back into the squad, because he's not, I guess, as rested?
No, I think he'll be fine. He's 23. Guys respond a little bit better in their early 20s. So, no, the expectation is him to come in and make the impact. And again, we need him. He brings something that a lot of other guys don't possess, and so we need to make sure that he's on the court to score those easy points for us, especially in transition.
Would you say that maybe it's almost been good for him to have a chance to keep playing some competitive basketball over the break, I suppose? Yeah,
because he was a training player for the first portion of the season. So I think in Mojave's case, it was probably better that he kept the game conditioning up, because he'd been ill and out of competitive basketball for so long. So again, he's on court right now, and he doesn't look like he's missed a step.
So obviously a tough start to the season, but obviously FIBA break gives you a chance to pause. And are you looking at this as a real reset in terms of the competition moving forward?
Yes and no. There's things we still want to build on. It's important that, if anything, we're trying to treat this new month as a new segment of the season, and especially having almost like a mini pre-season during this FIBA break. There's some KPIs that we really want to target, and offensively we've been better, especially at the start of the season. So we want to keep building on that, and now obviously the defensive side of things is some slack that we need to improve on, and part of that's team components, part of that's on an individual. But collaboratively, it's about getting everybody on the same page and working, the 5 guys on the floor working in unison, and that's really what this reset's about.
For sure, it gives you time to kind of reset your body, reset your mind, and I think that was the best thing for us. If you've been in our practices at all, you see the energy is booming, everybody's in the right mindset, and it's kind of it's looking like good vibes.
Well, yeah, I suppose what's the vibe been like since you guys have kind of come back together and got back on court with some training?
You never really know when it comes to a first couple of days back after a break, but it was definitely surprising. It was really good. Everybody was really competitive. Bodies looked like they got a good time of recovery, and it was just good to have everybody, back in the gym. You see everybody's back, everybody's playing, and everybody's kind of just excited to compete again.
Are you looking forward to having some of the guys? I mean, I know there's still some stuff sort of injury-wise, but I'm looking forward to having some of the guys back on the court with you come the first game back.
100%. It's always great to have a lot of guys coming back. You see all the work they put in to get to this moment, so it's just exciting to celebrate that in itself.
Obviously, we've seen the Hawks before. We've faced them again this weekend. How does the game plan kind of change since coming to this game?
I think we're doing the exact same thing we've been trying to do, is stack days, and that's kind of been the most important thing for us. We'll just now start getting into Illawarra game planning, but right now we're kind of just focused on ourselves and getting better each day.
Talk about sort of resetting your mind. Did you take a FIBA break to sort of reflect on the start of the season, which has obviously been rough in terms of where the teams got wrong, where the teams got right, all those sorts of things, to come in refreshed?
Yeah, it's definitely great to just come in and just have a total reset, not really think about what happened in the first half of the season, and just kind of think of this as a new start and a new day.